Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome back to the Carbon 65 channel. Today I want to go over something that I ran into with my C0706. It's a Carbon 65 edition 2018. Apparently others have run into this, so whether you have a base Stingray, Grand Sport, the Z06 or even the ZR1, lots of people run into this issue where they get a P0300 error. And what that references is a misfire. In my case, it said misfire cylinder 2, but honestly, it could be any of the cylinders. So many people have gone over this. Could be anything from the coil packs, which are listed right underneath here. You got two hex bolts up here, T25s. Those screws do not fall out, so made it nice from GM, thank you. So you can pull that out and get to that. You'd have to take off the breather tube here. But coil packs, the spark plug wires, spark plugs, even if you have a cold air intake with the mass flow sensor, could be even a dirty air filter, they say, or many other things that come in line. But what I found is that for most people, ranging from, I've seen guys at 5,000 miles, I have 34,500 on this one. The issue is really just the spark plugs. So the stock ones in here are the AC Delco 41-148s, and good plugs, but for some reason, whether it's bad gas from storage like here in northwest Illinois and by Chicago, or depending on where you're at, I stored this car, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months it seems like out of the year. But if you have bad gas, I do use the stabilizer with the full tank every winter. Before I put her away. But from that, anything from over revving to just like I said, if you had misfires and things that could spark, foul out the plugs, could cause this issue. But many people have gone and replaced many parts just to find out it's really the spark plugs. So I am going that route first because it's the least expensive and it will probably fix the problem from what I found. Your results can vary, of course. But what I want to show you is this here is the easy side, so to speak, is if you look down in here, you can see for where the plugs are at, way down in there. There she is. There's the first one. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7, and that side over there is 2, 4, 6, 8 as far as the cylinders. But very best in is a tool like this, and I'll give you a link to this on Amazon. It's a lifesaver. So what this is used for is if you look at the plug right here, you can grab right there on the spark plug end, and this helps you to wiggle and pull this guy out because those are hard to get. I had other needle nose pliers that I would stick right in here, but you got to watch out not to bend that and also affect the rubber here on the outside. So you got to be careful. So like I said, this little tool is a lifesaver. So when you grab it in here, you wiggle and wiggle up and down sideways and it'll pop out. Depending on if you ever change your plugs or not, that may not pop out that easy. But I was able to get her all done. And with a socket, like I said, 14 millimeter, some use 5/8. The swivel, definitely a must. And then with the ratchet like that, didn't need the extension on this side, needed it on the other side. But that's pretty much what you need to get in there. But as like I said, you can see down in here, this is extremely tight. It's not impossible, but it's just not easy either. So this is the easy side. So I first did that one first. I'm going to try and go in order because like I said, I did a film on this yesterday, and unfortunately the camera didn't stay focused. My Akaso action camera was not there. So what I want to show you on this side, this is the more difficult side. So before you do this, you can't do this because you have to take out the fuse box down here with all the plugs. So the first thing you want to do is come here and you'll see I've got my little container down here. You want to take out the positive, or excuse me, the negative cable. I put a rag over it so it doesn't touch anything or spark out. So you do that first because you got to play with the fuse box. And then I put that guy on there just to hold the trunk, because once you take that off, yeah, your key fob and stuff doesn't do you any good to try to open that up again. Plus the door, I got the driver's side door open, not all the way shut. So once you take off the battery for this side, the next thing you want to do, and I'll show you here, is we'll take out the fuse box. So here's where the fuse box goes. Picture this down in here. There's 3 screws. There's one right here. There's one right down in here. And there's one in the middle right there. These are not really torqued down very much. They're very light. So it doesn't take much to get those guys off. And when you put them back on, just to show you, it's these 3 here. So this here is the nut that goes on the back, which is, that's to hold the thing. Let me see if I got, it's over here. Sorry. Here's your overflow tank. I took that off, and I also took off this one tube right here because you need the extra space. So this one here has 3 screws. Let me get the light down here. So this guy goes right down in here, and it helps for that last cylinder to take it out when you get this guy out, because as you can see, let me get the light down in here, sorry. To get down to that last cylinder back there, that is not the easiest thing to do. So for the fuse boxes, to get these out, these guys all have right here little tabs on the side, and all you do is you push this tab in and then you can slide it. So you don't need to necessarily remember the color schemes, because once you put this back in, they only go one way. So though I do have that on film. So there's a plug for this one. So each one you just push it in and you can slide it to get these out. And then once you get those out, there's the stud for the first one. And then, like I said, the one's in the middle and then the other one's down here. That'll get you the extra room you'll need to get down in here. Because just taking a look, you can see, let me see if I get the light out of the way. There we go. So there's cylinder 2. That one's 4. 6 is down there. There it is. And then number 8's way over here, down in the bottom. So kind of tough to get to. But I have all the plugs loose now, so they're basically ready to go. I get my plugs today. I'm going to replace them with the NGK's LT7 IXs. They're the iridiums. They run 1 step cooler. People do that because they last longer, a little bit better plug. And I do have a few mods on here. I have the Holley cold air intake here. I have a solar performance ported throttle body, the AWE exhaust. I have the X pipe and the Touring with black tips for the axle back on there as well. A couple other things, but those are mostly it. So I thought, well, what the heck, if you're going to do this, now's the time to do it. I'm also going to just check the air filter and make sure that that's clean, and the mass airflow sensor, you can see it locks in, but that's one of the other issues. But that's really not it. So the spark plugs will be here later today. So when they get here, all I got to do is just, they're already all loose in here. Like I said, tight area on this side. It's not impossible, but oh boy, you're definitely going to watch your knuckles on this one because it's a little pain. So then when I get the plugs, I'll take these out, put the other ones in after I gap them. I think I'm going to go with a 0.03. I think is what it is. Some go down to 0.28, but I think I'm going to go with 0.03 on this, and then I'll put these in and then repeat the process, put everything back in. It'll probably be much easier going back together than it was taken apart, but just wanted to show you. For this one here, I added the extension to get to that last plug. I actually went down here. Let me set this out of the way. I went down this way and went underneath the lines to get to there, because to get in between right there, it's pretty darn tough. So I went underneath the lines with the extra extension, and that did the trick. So I was able to get to it. Unfortunately, though, righty tighty, lefty loosey, you've only got a little bit of room, like quarter turns at best, to get that out. But once you get her loose, it's not that bad. So basically, like I said, for everything else, I didn't take out any extra pieces other than the one tube there, the overfill tank for the coolant, and then there's the AC one that has a little latch on it to take out the fuse box. It wraps around there. stays on a fuse box. So might look a little frightening, but the biggest thing is just the space. I wish there was more room in there to get to, but it's very tight. So when the plugs come in, we'll change them out. I'll do an extra video on that as well. Let me turn off this light. What I want to say is, like, when I first got this error, I also got the stability issue with the axle. So I did order, and I'll do in another video here. Might as well change this out, right? There we go. So there's the AC Delco 10-40 424, or sorry, 034. That's for the rear axle back oil. So it takes 3 quarts, so you need 3 of those. And then also, you're going to need a tool like this. And I'll put a link to this. This has the 3/8 and 1/4 that bends, because to get over the axle back to get the fill plug, you're going to need something like this. So I'll put a link to that in the video as well. And then, like I said, I'll post another video in the near future here. Just while we're at it, there's the quick jacks that are mounted up on the wall. Those are the ones that I'll be using. It makes a world of difference getting under here, but we'll definitely go over that in a new video for that. But just want to show you that's what it's like to change the plugs in here. Very tight area. You can do it, but and it's not, I would say, hard. It's just difficult area because it's very tight. Not any major boo-boos, so I lucked out, but your results could vary, of course. Let me know if you have any questions, and watch the following videos. Like I said, and I'll do the follow-ups as well. We'll test the plugs and see which one was bad, if there was a bad one, or what the issue was. So thanks for tuning in, and have a good day.